Hello and welcome to COPD Wellness. I'm Angus.
And I'm Russell.
And today we're going to take the time to quickly introduce ourselves to you, our listeners. Now, Russell, I've known you my entire life.
You have?
Of course, and I've grown up with your children. And I came on board with the COPD Wellness campaign about 2 years ago now, before you went to New York. I came on board and started doing some filming for all of your training videos, helped spreading the message of COPD Wellness. I travelled with you to New York and got some unreal footage over there of you running the New York Marathon.
You did.
I've been helping put together more and more social media marketing, information campaigns, spreading the word on COPD and what you're doing to help COPD patients around the world.
Well, that's it, Angus. Helping COPD patients around the world is what I'm all about and what you're helping me to achieve. And that's through information, stuff I learn in my experiences. I like to share with other people and hopefully they can learn from it. That's where this COPD Wellness podcast series comes in. We're going to have some great information from experts in all things respiratory. So anything to do with COPD, asthma and a lot of other respiratory disease we're going to cover. From knowledge, medication, nutrition, exercise, and anything else that we come across. We're going to answer questions that people need answers for, and hopefully we're going to get a conversation started between patients and their medical professionals, because I think that's a void that we need to fill. Get patients to engage more with their medical professionals so they can get a better outcome.
That's right. And for those of you out there that don't know, Russell has been living with COPD for nearly
6 years.
6 years now. COPD, asthma has always been a part of your life?
Yeah, well, I was diagnosed with asthma when I was about 10 years old. So back then, asthma management wasn't a big thing. But I did all right as a kid. I was reasonably active. I carried my rescue inhaler around and had a puff on that when I needed to. A few dumb lifestyle choices along the way, including smoking, sort of made my asthma worse, and then asthma turned into COPD back in 2011. So years of smoking, years of asthma resulted in a lung function that was well under 30%, that's for sure.
And back when you were diagnosed, did you have any idea what COPD was?
No. In fact, I looked at my doctor and said, "What's that?" He said, "It's a chronic lung disease." I said, "Okay." And I think like what many patients did is I went home and did Dr. Google, what's COPD? And that's where I think this whole idea of the path I'm on now was born, because I saw a lot of negative stuff on the internet about COPD and I fell into the same hole I think as everyone does. And you think, oh, my life's over, what am I going to do? In fact, when you get told that you need to go and make yourself comfortable and get your affairs in order, you're sort of thinking, well, what's going on here? Through my own devices and managing my disease, I realised that it's not a death sentence. I'm not going to get rid of COPD. I'm not going to stop its progress, but I can live the best quality of life I can with this disease. And that's the message I want to get out to people.
That's right, unreal. So you are an inspiration to people across the globe, and I've known and I've realised from seeing your social media pages over these years promoting this healthy lifestyle for COPD patients, the fact that it isn't the end of the road. You can get out there, you can try harder. It was going to be a lot more difficult than the average Joe going about their day. But yeah, you're truly an inspiration. And what have you done? What achievements so far have you reached and got to with COPD?
It's interesting because I've done a number of marathons and Ironman events and all that sort of thing since I've been diagnosed with COPD, but I don't necessarily look at them as my achievements. My achievements is when I hear patients say to me that they've decided to adopt a similar lifestyle to me and they've improved their quality of life. To me, that's where the real achievement is being able to change people's lives. There's people out there who are sicker than me. There are people out there who aren't as sick as me. But I think if you apply some basic principles to managing your disease, it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to have a better outcome. And I think that's important for people to realise.
So I know over the years from working with you that you've got certain principles around the COPD world that you like to follow. Could you elaborate on those?
Yeah, definitely. I wrote about these principles last year for the European Medical Journal. The first one's knowledge, so gaining as much knowledge as you can, and that can be from your doctor, from healthcare professionals, from other patients. The next thing is medication. Without it, we're not sustainable. We need our medication to keep us stable so we can actually do more things. Once we have those two things in control, we can then look at nutrition and the type of dietary strategies we can use to improve our well-being. And there's a lot out there. Once we get that in place, then there's also exercise, which used to be number one on my list, but now I sort of think you have to get the other things in place before exercise can be effective. But if you put those four pillars together, you can have a very healthy and meaningful life while living with COPD.
So that's us, Russell and Angus, and from here we're going to be interviewing people from all over the globe, professionals and patients alike, and talking about COPD.
We've already got an outstanding guest list, and as I say, I'll be asking some questions with Angus, and it will be the respiratory specialists and nutritional specialists and exercise specialists who will be providing the answers. We'll provide an avenue for people to give us feedback from the podcast and hopefully be able to answer some questions as well. Be sure to tune in next time when we continue to explore chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Thanks for listening.
Bye for now.